So, welcome to the first episode of Dragon Knights, the new podcast I'm going to be running, in addition to the Day in the Life series I did before, which is going to be starting back up. We're still in construction of the room. I'm fuming. I've mentioned this coffee table 6 times to Bomber so far. We are going to have a coffee table to break it up a little bit. But welcome to episode 1. So I'm Mason Dragon Jones. If you didn't know, now you know. Our guest for tonight, for some of you who don't know, is Mathew Creel, and I'm going to allow Mathew to give an introduction. So Mathew, tell us a little bit about yourself.
First off, buddy, thanks for having me on. I know you've been on about this podcasting for a while, so it's amazing to be your first guest. But yeah, as you so kindly mentioned, my name's Mathew. I'm the founder of a mental health and wellbeing charity that goes by the name of Tidy Butt. We've been running since 2020. We're now currently in our 5th year. We've got tons of good things going on within the community. I'm sure we'll touch on a few of them bits in a little bit. But yeah, that's just a brief overview of where I am at the moment, man.
And a coffee shop.
And a coffee shop, yeah, exactly.
We'll talk about later, but like I said, I've got it all labelled down. So if you see me looking at the floor a little bit, it's just so I can remember the points, because so much I want to hang up in this. So we'll be looking back and forth just so you're aware. So coming up in the episode, like I said, we're going to pick Mathew's brain about the mental health charity, how it started, people he's helped, how it's developed, where your origins, where it's come from, where we are now, coffee shop, where that came about, and all the plans for the future and stuff, because I've worked with Tidy Butt as a charity for 2 years, I believe. I think it might be longer than that.
A bit longer than that, actually, I think, yeah.
Easiest way to work this out is... So how did Tidy Butt come about? Tell us how you started.
Yeah, so I I struggled with my own mental health, mate, for a long time, to be honest. And I kind of went on my own little journey of whether you want to call it self-discovery or just to try and improve my own well-being. I went to the doctors about 7 years ago now, because I was probably at my lowest point. The doctor wrote me a script out and he kind of sent me on my way. Take their math, everything will be all right. And if I'm honest, bro, for a little bit, things did improve. However, same environment, same challenges, same people, same habits. So really nothing changed, apart from the only difference now is that I was taking a tablet to help me deal with it. So I kind of went down the rabbit hole, started searching on the internet, started looking around to see how I could better understand what was going on for me. Discovered a ton of things, and I just kind of experimented. I found cold water therapy, I found breath work, I found meditation and movement and how nutrition would affect my mental health, and ecstatic dance, and there's so many different things now that I'm doing. And like, if you said to me 6 years ago I would have laughed at you, bro. Do you know what I mean? Just being a little valley boy from Abertillery, do you know what I mean? There was no way that I'd be thinking I'd be doing these kinds of things, but they've had a profound impact on me. And then pre-COVID, it was just a case of like, I started doing a little bit with what is now like the 5D, which was like D Ludlow at the time, and there was like a group of us, and we would just meet on a Wednesday, 5 a.m., and everybody would be branding different business ideas and trying to inspire each other and just having a catch up and stuff. And then I come up with the idea of Tidy Butt. I was thinking, well, I can't be the only one struggling in this area. There must be others going through similar situations. And that's kind of when it was born, really, bro. It was just a case of, right, I'm going to put something out there. And it was fucking terrifying. Do you know what I mean? To begin with, because like having that fear of like what other people will think. Nobody knew that I struggled for a number of years. If anybody was playing up in the rugby club or dancing on the tables or, do you know what I mean, having the crack, taking the mick, it was me. So like that fear of judgment to begin with, like, petrified me. But then I put it out. We just literally started as a Facebook group. And then 3 weeks later, lockdown happened. So as you can imagine, numbers went through the roof. Yeah. And that's kind of how it started, really, bro. That's kind of that was kind of the beginning for us.
I think the easiest way to explain it in lockdown was it just felt as if sort of everyone just sort of stalled because everyone's life come to a halt, and it felt like you've been swimming in water for so long and all of a sudden you just made the tread and you're in the same part. It just feels like you're going to sink. So
yeah, it was a difficult one, lockdown, bro, wasn't it? And I think like one thing that it taught me, like I love lockdown personally because I learned a lot about myself. I spent a lot of time with my wife and my amazing kids. Like we was out doing things that I was doing as a kid. So we was making fires, we were making dens. I was dipping in rivers, we was up the mountains. I still work because I was in the K sector at the time. So like they was classed as like an
Essential
important
workers.
job or whatever. Yeah. So I was still out working.
Yes.
So I kind of had the best of both worlds really. One thing also that I learned from lockdown was like, where we're at now is like isolation does us no favors in regards to our mental health.
social animals.
Yeah, because we need to be around people, skin to skin, eye to eye, high-fiving, touching. Do you know what I mean? Having that interaction with other human beings. Like there is no coincidence that we was locked down for 3 years and like mental health statistics now are at an all-time high. So I can't emphasize, man, the importance in being part of something, being part of a tribe, being part of a community.
Physical
100%, man, 100%.
Yeah, no, obviously I've got people around me. I've struggled a little bit, but I got a lot of people around me who's going through it, have gone through it and different things. And obviously Heidi Butt's been a massive help for me as well as advocating for him. So I remember when I was starting to struggle a little bit, when I was speaking to you about it, I just kept looking. It's so unclear to know what to do and where to go. And I've got friends and relatives who are going through it now, as we had the conversation about. And you go to the doctors or you wait for a GP appointment or you call some of the bigger sort of higher funded charities and they tell you you have to wait up to 6 months.
Yeah.
It's just...
Bro, you pluck up the courage to go to the doctor. You may get a referral to a third sector organisation, whether it be mine or some of the others. And don't get me wrong, they're all doing amazing work in their own field. However, you've plucked up that courage to go and speak to somebody and then they tell you you've got to wait 8 months.
Or they tell you to get an emergency appointment with a GP and they send you to your local GP.
Yeah,
and
it's a difficult one, man. That's why, like, we are super committed. Like, if somebody reaches out to us, we try our damnedest to get somebody an appointment within 14 days with our in-house counsellor. This
was just where I was going to go to next. So where do we say? So we've gone through that, gone through feedback. I'll bring on to that. But tell us about your in-house. So where you were in 2020 when you started. The Facebook group, like you said, was the first way you started. Now talk a bit how that's developed now. So kind of like I started sharing my own little journey on my Instagram page and stuff, and people would see me like cold water dipping and doing my thing or whatever. And then I started having a couple of messages of people like reaching out to me and just saying like, what the hell are you doing? Like, why are you jumping in a freezing cold pond or a pretty cold lake or whatever? And people was intrigued, I suppose. I remember like I discovered cold water therapy. I stumbled upon Wim Hof online. I ended up going to the Keeper's Pond on a Thursday night on my own. And I'll be honest with you, mate, it was the first time in years that I truly felt anything. Yeah, and quiet.
It was amazing because like, I get stuck in thought a lot of the time. And I think it's really important that we have these practices to bring us some kind of presence. What cold water done for me was once I got into the water, I had no other option but to focus on my breath. Once I started focusing on my breathing, like the thought process kind of slowed down. And even now, all these years later, the same thing kind of happens. And as soon as I start to feel myself going back to thought, then I'll switch to feeling. So I'll start to like feel the cold water on my skin, how that makes me feel, tingling, the blood rushing through your veins, your heartbeat, etc. And while we're focusing on a lot of this, the thought process kind of slows down. So yeah, people started reaching out. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to start like a cold water dipping group. And that's what I done. Then we started a wellness walking group, and it would be like every other week. And then we thought, right, we want to try and, obviously as the lockdown started coming to an end, it was very difficult to do a lot of these things via lockdown. You could go to Tesco's and everybody could be crammed in the aisles, but you couldn't go up to Keepers and have a dip. Do you know what I mean? It was crazy, right? However, when we started lifting the restrictions a little bit, we started a meetup group, and originally it was for men and females, which I was a little bit apprehensive about to begin with. However, it was really good to see the interaction within the group because we had men speaking openly, we had women speaking openly, and I think it was really good for
Both sides.
sexes to understand either person's issues.
Yes.
And we could relate and go like, well, that's why my husband's like he is, well, that's why I'm like I am, or my wife, etc., which was really good. And now I've developed into a man-only peer support group. We've also got a female peer support group. We've just started now an LGBTQ plus support group down in Pontypool.
Awesome.
We've also got an in-house counselling service as well. So as you can see, like from when we first started to where we are now, like our offering have kind of grown considerably. We go into the education sector, we go into corporates, businesses, etc., run different workshops around multiple different topics. Just try to bring people together, empower people. We share our own vulnerabilities and empower people to reach out and grab support, whether it be through us or whether it be through other organisations, really.
I'm going to come back to the talks because that's one of the things I wanted to hit on. But before I do, there's a quote on your website and it's about overcoming fear and taking action really stands out. What did that look like in the early days? I know you've touched upon it with COVID and everything, but where did the quote come from that you've...
It was just like... I was quite scared. I think I touched on it early doors, was like I was fearful of judgment of others to begin with. And I think especially now in our day and age, bro, we're like, we all live in this little box. This is why like I respect you so much as a fighter, because I'm not just a fighter as a person. It would have been easy for you a long time ago to chuck a towel in. Like we've had loads of conversations, bro, haven't we?
Of course.
People saying, fucking hell, Mace, what are you doing, Mace? You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. About time you get a proper job. Do you know what I mean? And with all that like negativity, with all that fear, with a lot of that doubt, sometimes we can take the easy option.
Of course.
And it would have been easy for you to go and grab a job with your old man or do whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
And I think like I kind of relate to what you're going through in a sense. Is like for a lot of us, it's very scary to reach out for support. It's very fearful to potentially go on this journey, or for somebody, even like a counselling session, they're thinking, well, I've got to dig up a lot of old trauma. I've got to dig up a lot of old shit. And going back to that space is not comfortable.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I think there's so much growth the other side of that. Like a lot of the scary things are fucking difficult. However, when we do come out the other end of it, we're far more resilient people as a result. So I'm scared every day, bro. It's like some of the decisions we've got to make, like some of the things I'm doing now, there's tons of uncertainty around it. Do you know what I mean? There's like, oh my God, what am I going to do next? I got like a great support network around me and I can tap into other people's knowledge and experience, etc. But it doesn't mean the fear goes away. It's still there. Do you know what I mean? It's just about working through it. I read I'm currently reading a really good book actually about with Ant Middleton, and he talks about the fear bubble, and he talks obviously about him being in the military and stuff, and he was constantly kind of like in this fear mindset. However, like he approaches situations now about like until he's in that fear bubble, which for him would have been like a doorway where you've got to go in and complete a mission, etc. And he visualizes this bubble, and he said, when I'm in that fear bubble, I've got the right to feel scared, but once I'm out of it,
it shuts off.
It goes away again. So that's kind of his way of dealing with it. And I'm toying with that myself at the moment. But again, bro, it's just like trying new things, experiencing things, seeing what works for you. Adversity
is privilege. It's a Volkanovski quote, but it's something that resonated with me because for me, it's like we see the biggest growths in ourselves and in our personalities when we do hit that moment of fear and struggle. And it's to be alive. Like even the lowest of lows, and when you feel like there is no choice and you are stuck, which is something I've talked to you about before, and I know you've been in the same place. Just to make the choice, just to keep on is
what a privilege, bro, as well, is to make a choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like every decision we make is we choose to do.
Yeah, chaos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
chaos,
exactly.
Pure chaos. Right, so we've touched on, where's it gone? It was one I had you. Right, so tell me about the full-time care centre you've set up. Well, pretty much full-time is what the hours you got with the counsellor.
Oh, yeah. So like,
what's his name again?
Steve.
Yeah. Steve the train guy.
Yeah.
Steve's train guy.
Yeah, he's a good man. I got to be honest. So yeah, like I was always cautious, right, about we go in somewhere, we do some kind of presentation, we be vulnerable, like as well. Reese, obviously, like the co-founder, he's got an amazing story, it's super touching. And we'd go in and we'd be vulnerable and we would share our own stories, etc. And then we'd leave. And I'd always be like apprehensive about that, because we could go in somewhere and you can see some people's hamster wheels turning and you're thinking, fuck, do you know what I mean? If somebody is going to reach out now, like, how are we going to support these people? And there was a tragic situation that happened back in Pontypool back a few years ago, where a young guy, he went to the doctor to access some support. He was told again, like, he had to wait 6 to 8 months, and he went home and took his own life. Well, his family done a fundraiser then in Pontypool, and they donated us all the money. It was like over £6,000. And I was like, just like, wow, this is the opportunity now for us to be able to offer some professional support as well. So what we did is set up a separate account. All our donations, all that money went straight into the separate account, and then 100% of that money then goes back to providing therapy for people that need it most. Now, we've recently just opened our coffee shop and our wellbeing space in Pontypool.
Lee's room, yeah?
And we've just named it after Lee, yeah. So like that initial donation that him and his family made to us, we've actually, like, it's super cool. We've just like got one of his old skateboards and we had it sign written and we've mounted it on the wall there. It's called Little Lee Therapy Suite. And yeah, so that's kind of where that was born. We was literally doing, for anyone that was reaching out, if somebody'd message us via Instagram or Facebook or whatever, I was sorting them counselling sessions out. It's kind of grown quite a lot since then, and we deliver between 40 and 60 counselling sessions now a month.
That's insane.
So yeah, so like we've gone from maybe doing 5 or 10 a month, I mean, just dipping in and out, to like delivering 40 to 60 sessions a month now on a regular basis. So
where does the funding come from, though?
So we are lucky enough to get some funding via local councils and stuff like that. Garvo have been a great help for us over in Ebervale. Like, you might get like 5,000 or whatever every now and again off them guys. But ultimately, bro, we are self-funded.
Community funded.
So all our donations, so if somebody sends in a donation, say for instance you've done a sponsored walk over the weekend and you raise £100, that would go straight into our counselling pot. We done a big fundraiser back last year where we walked the Welsh Three Peaks. We raised over £10,000. That goes straight into our counselling pot. So if anybody raises any money, does any fundraisers, etc., all that goes into our separate pot. So it doesn't go towards rent, wages, bills, etc. It all goes into the counselling pot.
So you can see I'm brilliant to ask you questions. This is going to put you right in the spot. If I wanted to set up a charity, I don't know, say a charity run, I want to raise my money and I wanted that money to go to you, how would I go about doing that? For those at home, people watching, how can they get involved?
Yeah, so if anybody does want to raise money, if they want to do any kind of fundraising, reach out on our new website. Now we've actually got a fundraising section. So you go onto the fundraising section. It's a very simple form to fill in. Tell us what your idea is, tell us what the plan is, what you're planning on doing, etc. And then we'll come up with a plan together so we can share it on our social media. We'll try and support you in whatever way we can. We're in the process now of putting a fundraising pack together. So you'll have some sponsor forms,
awesome.
Some online links, t-shirt, etc. Do you know what I mean? Just to make you feel included, and like we are thankful for that. Do you know what I mean? And there has been times, and I'll be honest with you as well, mate, there has been times where I got that wrong, because like we are a very small organisation. Like myself and Kez, and Reese does his bit as well whenever he can, obviously, with his own health issues at the moment as well. But like people have raised money in the past and they've donated and stuff, and like they've wanted me to have a presence at their event or something like that, and I haven't been able to get there. And do you know what I mean? Like you feel bad about that, do you know what I mean? But ultimately, I can't be everywhere. Do you know what I mean? So like I'm trying to be as transparent and as honest with people as I can at the moment now, and just say, look, we really, really appreciate what you're doing. We always try and put a thank you post or whatever on social media and just thank because I think it's really important we have transparency about where the money's going and how much has been raised, etc. So people know what's happening with it. But eventually, like we're in the process as well of like coming up with some email outreach, letting people know like what's happening, where the money's gone, how many sessions that they've gone helped towards, how many people that has benefited from it, etc. So yeah, it's like I'm still trying to work it out, bro. I got to be honest with you, I am still trying to work it out. However, what I can guarantee is that like the money is not being spent on rent, wages,
new hats,
petrol,
sunglasses,
5-star holidays in London, or, or whatever.
Yeah,
It's all going back to support people, that's for sure.
So you've talked a little bit about Lee's room. Where is Lee's room?
Yeah, so we've got a little space in Pontypool. I was very lucky back a couple of years ago. We'd done a talk for AP Waters in Pontypool, and Aid was he very kindly mentioned that he had a little office space in Pontypool. So we took that on. We started working out of there for like 18 months, 2 years. And we've done all our peer support groups from there. We run our counselling service from there. And we've kind of outgrown the space in a little way, to be fair, which is amazing. And then back about, got to be over a year ago now, bro. I was coming down.
Is it over a year, is it?
Yeah. I was coming down the stairs, and the guy that was renting the space down below,
the Tyre Bay.
The Tyre Bay, yeah. He's like, he's going to be moving to Cumbrae. So, like, it was by coincidence. I was on a rugby tour that weekend with the landlord and asked him for first refusal, because they've always been like a vision of ours, like both myself, Reece and Kez. When we talk about Tidy But, we can always see some kind of like well-being centre, some kind of space where people can come and connect and be involved. And that was always like evident on our vision board. Every time we spoke about it, we wanted like that physical space where people can come along to. And it kind of fell in our lap, really. It was a space that we couldn't really turn down. So we took it on, and we're doing all right now, man. We've been open like 5 weeks, which is mad, really, when you consider like only 5 years ago it was just an idea for us. Do you know what I mean? So we've grown exponentially over the last couple of years, and they've all been organic. Like, we've all worked full time, we've all had jobs, we've all got families, etc.
Trying to do everything, look after kids, raise two boys, two really good boys,
and learn, bro, as we go. Because like, I've never set a charity up, I've never like run a business. Do you know what I mean? We've never done half the things, like, and especially now with the new space and stuff, like, there's so many things that we're learning on a day-to-day basis. Do you know what I mean? Are
you happy to talk a little bit about Reece as well? I don't know.
100%, man. Yeah, of course. So Reece, obviously, me and Reece played rugby together like 25 years ago. And Reece went on to play for Newport Gwent Dragons. He played for the Scarlets. He got a couple of Welsh caps. I think it was 12 or 13 caps altogether. He was on an exercise bike in the Park of Scarlets one day doing a fat leg session or whatever it was.
Just a high
intensity workout, and he had a massive heart attack. So ultimately he ended up going and having a quadruple bypass. Cut a long story short, his health declined over the next couple of months, and they kind of give him 12 months to live. So they said, you kind of got two options. You can either see your time out, or you can have this machine fitted, which is called a left ventricular assist device, which is a machine that's implanted into the left side of his heart, and then they connect it to his aorta. And so he had it done. He was in a coma for 2 weeks, and then he pulled through that, and he's been living on this machine ever since. So it's like nearly 10 years, I think, maybe 10, 11 years.
Well, every time I've seen him, he's never got shoes on. Where's Reece now?
So Reece is currently living in South Africa at the moment. He moved out. So he was on the emergency transplant waiting list in the UK for like 6 years. He only ever had one call.
I was going to say,
he only ever had one call. And then, unfortunately, while he was like getting ready, packing his bag and stuff, they rang him and stood him down.
The guy died.
Now he's currently living with his partner Kez out in South Africa. He's on the emergency transplant waiting list out there. So it's imminent, really, bro. Do you know what I mean? It could be any time. Yeah, he's just literally waiting for the phone call. So fingers crossed.
It's exciting.
It's amazing, man. It's amazing.
Considering how much he'd been through and how much of a strong character he was, just to see, hopefully, that soon he's going to get a new heart and a new lease of life.
Yeah, and for anyone that's interested in like a super inspiring story, do you know what I mean? And for a lot of people, maybe you're stuck in a rut and you think there's no opportunity to change. Just follow Reece, man. Do you know what I mean? It's like his journey has been incredible, from like a professional sportsman to somebody that struggled with drinking drugs and his own mental health, to go into rehab now, to come out and like see the transformation in the man is insane. Like, he's such an inspiring person. He's such an empowering person to be along, and an amazing friend as well. Yeah.
So Reese is obviously away. You've taken on a lot of the sort of a
Yeah.
lot more than you were still you've done originally. You and Kaz taking the rest on.
Yeah.
Obviously you took up the tire bay. You still got upstairs. You got a Lee's room. What have you done with the space downstairs?
So yeah, downstairs, man, was like, and like we've touched on finances a little bit as well. Like we haven't got a shitload of money that we could just chuck at something.
Yeah.
So like I just went to the local community, bro. I just like put an email together, started asking local businesses if there was anybody you can reach out. We went on our social media, started asking, and like before you know it, I had like a list of 20 odd trades. Do you know what I mean? People offering their time, donating materials, etc. Robert Price in Pontypool give us like a load of plaster boards and like fireboards and stuff, bags of plaster, boxes of screws. Another company in Crumlin, in Aberbeeg, Oakdale Technical Services. He rang me up. He was like, "Oh, I got some wood for you, mate." I went down there with a flatbed, and he had a pallet full of timber there, like 2x2 timber. We built all the walls with it, like Kanof insulation. Give us a load of insulation and whatever. So, like, yeah, honestly, man, it's so overwhelming to like. I keep saying that this space in Pontypool was built by the community for the community, like. There's so many people that have helped out, whether they, like one of the guys donated, like he laid the concrete floor for me, like for nothing, wouldn't take anything off me. Then another guy that come to the men's circles and stuff, Connor, he used to have a flooring company. He had a load of flooring in his garage. He put the floor down and clad it. Like, mate, honestly, people have been so generous, whether it be through donating materials or their time. Like we've been in there God knows what time in the evenings, you know what I mean? And people, and nobody asked for anything in return, which is like, and so now for me and like the guys, Reese and Kez, when we see people using the place, you know what I mean? It's amazing, it's such an amazing feeling. So yeah, it's super grateful to the community of like Torvine and Pontypool and for everyone that have helped out, regardless of where they're from. Like if it genuinely, bro, if it wasn't for the people that have helped out, that space wouldn't be what it is now. It wouldn't be open. So
they built the space and you opened Grounded Cafe and Wellness. So talk a little bit about that. Tell me what you're doing there now. Obviously I know, but tell the folks at home.
So yeah, at the moment, bro, we're like, it's in its infancy. Like it really is. Like we're 5 weeks open now.
Is it 5 weeks? Is it
5 weeks? That's crazy. 5 weeks. So we had like we opened on August the 15th.
Yes, 15th. I think so. Yeah.
No, then August. No, it was June the 15th.
June the 15th.
Yeah, it was June the 15th. Yeah, Father's Day, wasn't it?
Father's Day.
It was June the 15th. And like, you know what it's like. You've got that little thing of doubt in your mind, thinking, is anyone going to turn up or whatever? And I had like. Because I was there quite early, making sure things were done. I took a change of clothes. I went upstairs, got changed. I come back down from upstairs about 10:15 and people were queuing out the door. I couldn't believe it, bro. Like we sold out of all the cakes, like all the items, like coffee was going crazy. Like we had a DJ, we had like a mobile sauna there, some cold plunges, we had guest speakers. Yourself come down and met some young kids and stuff as well. I had some pictures, signed some autographs and stuff. So yeah, it was an amazing day. And then like people just haven't stopped coming. I mean, since then, like it's people have come back. We open on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we've just
it's a nice space.
Yeah, we've just had a steady influx of people coming back and forth, and we've got so many different plans for the space. Do you know what I mean?
Tell me about it then.
Yeah,
what's the plans moving forward? It's like you're a wellness centre as well as a cafe.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about that. So what's your plans on growing from here?
So we're hoping to develop now a food menu over the next couple of weeks. Nice. We also as well like some more healthy options. Again, like although we do sell like brownies and bits and bobs like that, we know what's in them all. There's no nasties in there. We use real butter, etc. So the lady that supplies everything is all made with love, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's it's all made. It's all made, bro. Exactly. Yeah, we know where everything comes from, and like again, we want to support other local projects.
Yes.
So like if it's locally grown or locally sourced, if there's anything that we can introduce in that regard, like we will do that. And also as well to develop like some events and stuff from there. So like one of our things on our mission is to educate, empower and support people. Yeah. And that's what we want to do in that space, whether it be through nutrition, whether it be through mindset, like hold events where we've got different inspirational guest speakers and other things going on there as well. So people know what other support they can access within the community. Bring other organizations together, do you know what I mean? And collaborate on different projects and stuff. Yeah. And yeah, we've spoke this week to last week to a number of different facilitators, whether it be yoga, whether it be Pilates, there's like art therapies. We're speaking to somebody who's like a creative writer, and all these other like interesting off the topic kind of things that people may be interested in trying, do you know what I mean? And expressing themselves in many different ways.
Which is insane considering you started cold dipping.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah,
cold dipping and charity now.
Yeah.
Literally aiming to do it'll be a full-time wellness centre eventually.
Yeah, 100%, bro. We'll have like a full program. Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have something on most evenings.
That's insane.
Whether it be multiple classes or whether it just be like, and there's also opportunity there for us as well to rent out the space to other organisations or businesses and stuff. And
meetings.
To have meetings and workshops and stuff from as well, which people are already reaching out and asking, can they rent the space and stuff as well. So for us as a charity, I suppose it's just as well, like I think a lot of people think like every charity is funded. Like for us is been like a difficult journey for us because like we work full time. Like another thing that I've had to try and learn as well is funding bids. Do you know what I mean? So like all this is so many difficult things to do. So like for us is just trying to generate income as well. So how do we generate income as an organization, as a charity, to be able to become sustainable over time? And that's, again, like this is why the coffee shop is one of our things, is to hopefully generate some income so the charity can become self-sufficient. So over time, we're not fully dependent on funding applications
become
and
more
different
of a
bids and
household
stuff.
name and a household charity.
Yeah, exactly. Once we start, like I said, I'm in the process now of starting the ball rolling with the National Lottery and other kinds of things. But again, it takes so long because I'm learning as I go. Do you know what I mean? I haven't got, unfortunately, I haven't got all the answers. We haven't got somebody that I've employed as a bid writer or somebody that does the funding applications and stuff. Like we literally do it all ourselves. Do you know what I mean?
There we go. If you're watching this at home and you're a bid writer who wants to do a little bit with the men's health charity, get in touch with Mathew. Massive help. Here we go. You may have someone now sorted. I still got loads to do. So let's do a little bit of rapid fire stuff because let's do a little bit of rapid fire stuff. So let's talk a little bit about Mathew more than anything else. That was another thing I wrote up because obviously we've talked a lot about charity and how we got there, and obviously you did it with Kaz, you did it with Reese. Let's talk a little bit about you because obviously from my understanding you are the big fuel behind the fire. I know Kaz is brilliant, but from everything I've seen you push hard yourself. So let's do a little bit of rapid fire stuff. So what's the first job you ever had?
Oh, I was an upholsterer.
You was an upholsterer?
Yeah. So, bro, I can cut hair, I can upholster a settee, I can make a coffee. I'll try anything, but to be honest, like I lost my rugby career quite early. Yeah. So then, like, I just tried anything. Do you know what I mean? Just to fill that void that rugby left. So
upholstery, rugby.
Upholstery. So yeah, rugby, upholstery. Then I done a barbering course. Painter and decorator. Like I've
barista.
done, barista, life coaching, breathwork coach.
Breathwork.
Yeah, tons of different stuff, bro.
So what's your favorite way to de-stress? I know you said about the ice dipping, but what's your favorite way?
I love being in the mountains, bro. Yeah. I love being in the mountains. It was my birthday yesterday.
I know. I was going to say happy birthday.
My wife was like,
30, you know?
Yeah, 30, yeah, I wish 30. She's like, what do you want to do today? And I said, we'll have a nice spa day. So I ended up going to the Glynneath waterfalls.
Beautiful.
And it was beautiful. We went down here, bro, just being like immersed in nature, getting my shoes and socks off when I can. You know what I mean? Get your feet in the dirt. Yeah. A couple of different waterfalls and stuff, swimming in a couple of different ones. Took a little picnic. You know what I mean? Because
I love the beaches myself. A lot of time we'll just sneak away, take the dog to the beach and watch her just get excited.
It's amazing, bro, isn't it? Yeah.
Perfect for me.
Nat's the same. She loves the beach. But it was my day yesterday, so she let me choose. And so, yeah.
So you've already surprised me a few times because I didn't know you was an upholsterer. But tell me something that would surprise other people who know you. So what would tell me something about you that would surprise someone? Apart from you being a romantic, even though we all know you're a romantic at heart.
Yeah. So actually, one thing that I do is I've got a really weird way of eating chocolate hobnobs.
You're not one of those weirdos.
Yeah, right. So what I'll do is get 5 chocolate hobnobs, right? And I know it's a bit of a weird one, right? But I'll get 5 chocolate hobnobs and I'll chew 4 of them up with a glass of milk and then I'll spit them back onto the chocolate hobnob and I'll create that like this little bit of a chewed up chocolate
I wish I
oatmeal,
hadn't asked this question.
biscuit and milk together and then eat it. Oh, mate, you need to try it, bro.
We need a bib, but
Honestly, you need to try it.
right. So here's a random one for you. If you had to rename Tidy Butt, what would you rename it to?
Oh my God, that's a difficult one, man.
Top of your head. Doesn't got to be anything well thought. Just any idea. See, no wonder I wrote all these down.
Yeah, that is a difficult one, but I really don't know. Tidy Butt was it was the name that just come to my head straight away because I hid behind it myself for years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
how you feeling?
Yeah, if anybody would ask me how I was, that'd be my response. Yeah. And I also knew like tons of other boys that was going through it and people going through it. So it was kind of like the first name that came to my mind, and we do seem to generate a lot of interest just because of the name. Do you know what I mean? If I had to rename it, I'd probably have to think about it for a while. So I really
nothing
wouldn't.
On top of your head. It was a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So you've used a few Welsh terms. So like for people watching at home, the majority should be Welsh. But if they're English or German or whatever, explain to me Welsh terms. So explain the whole thing of Tidy Butt.
Yeah, so Tidy Butt is just a way really that we use in the Valley just to say I'm okay. So if anybody would ask me how I was, that was kind of my response. It's just another way of saying I'm okay, really. So we see a lot of these different projects and stuff out there now. It's okay to be not to be okay, etc., etc.
All very fancy,
and
not ready for us.
Yeah, and Tidy Butt was just something that I think we can say that we all use on a day-to-day basis.
Don't need a degree to sort
no. Yeah, so it's just another way of saying I'm okay, really.
Cutchin?
Cutchin, yeah. I'm a world champion cutcher, but
explain. So what's Cutchin?
Yeah, Cutchin is just a hug, really. It's just a Welsh way of hugging.
As I tell the Americans, anyone can cuddle, but only the Welsh can cutch.
Cutch, yeah, you're right there, but yeah, definitely.
Right, so one of the things I had written down quick was if you had to pair with any partner or any group, who would you want to pair with? Or partner up with?
Ah, interesting. What, in the mental health space or?
Anything at all.
Anything. This
difficult ones, though.
Yeah, it is.
Just for people at home, I didn't prep him for these. I prepped him for the rest of them. But these are the rapid fire ones because I wanted it from his heart, so I didn't want him to think too much about it.
There's some amazing organisations out there, buddy. To be honest, I kind of stay away from like your mainstream ones because there's so many like awesome organisations out there. Like I really love the Dawn Stalkers down in Penarth. They meet every day for a sunrise dip down on Penarth Pier. Like You're Never Alone as well is another local organisation that like Jordan Paul set up as well. They are doing some amazing stuff. So like there's some really amazing like organisations, local charities and local groups and stuff that are doing some amazing work in that space. So yeah, and I think as well, but this issue is like way too big for one organisation.
Yeah.
The more we can collaborate, the more people can work together and we can provide support to people like from a multi-agency approach. You know what I mean? So they might have Tidy Butt and Dawn Stalkers and Mind and all these other amazing organisations they're working with. The more people are going to feel supported, isn't it?
Do you find it hard to offload and sort of to accept that help off people?
Yeah, it is probably one of my downfalls, to be honest, bro. Like, asking for help is difficult, isn't it?
It's hard for everyone,
and as well, like, sometimes I'm like of this mindset of like, because you're not running the organisation, but you know what I mean. You're kind of heading it up.
You're carrying the load.
It's difficult to sometimes express some of the challenges that goes with that. That's why I think like is really important.
Lost control as well.
Yeah, and it's really important for me. Like we've got some amazing facilitators now.
Yes.
But it's really important for me to always like continue to dip my toe in like the men's circles and stuff, because when I go back there, like me and Reese created that space for like not only others but also ourselves to be able to vent and offload and share and be ourselves and be authentic and all these other things. So like it's important for me to continue to like dip my toes back in there and really feel like the essence of why it was set up in the beginning. And then like once I'm in there, bro, for 10 minutes, I can't help but share. I can't help but offload because we've created like such a safe space for people to be able to like be vulnerable and honest and empower each other and share and inspire each other, etc. Like I can't help but share, and I always feel better when I come from me afterwards. So, and I think it's really important as well. But for the other guys in the group to see me being vulnerable as well, to see me being honest and sharing some of the shit that I'm going through as well, because I haven't got it all worked out. I might be like one of the ones.
There's no master plan. It's just keep building as we build.
Yeah. We're just trying to be consistent. We're continuing to show up.
And to be fair, mate, your foundations are solid. One of the things I didn't expect when I come to the coffee opening was how many people was actually involved and helping. And it's mad to see how much the community has grown since 2020 in the 5 years. Or almost 6.
We've got some amazing ambassadors, man. Honestly, like we've got some amazing people involved, from like volunteers to ambassadors to facilitators. Everybody is heart led as well, which is amazing. There's no hidden agendas. Everybody's there being involved because they want to be involved. And a lot of the guys that are now facilitating for us have come through like, I don't want to call it our system, but you know what I mean. They've come there like
pathways.
Some of them have come there super low with a lot of challenges going on, and then now all of a sudden they've either like come into our community, and this is where I feel we are slightly different to other organizations, right? They can come in via our community events, whether it be swims, walk, peer groups, etc., and then kind of realize that, well, actually maybe I need some other support, some ongoing support, and access the professional services, like i.e. the counselling services. Because for a lot of places,
it happened with me.
Yeah, you go in, you see the counsellor, and then after your 8 sessions or whatever, that support stops.
Yeah.
Where for us, you can either come in via the counselling service, access the community events afterwards, or vice versa.
The community, and then have the professional help.
So there's always something there. There's always something for you to be involved with, regardless of whether you finish your counselling services or not. Afterwards, then you can jump back into the community events. So you're always feeling a part of something. There's always people involved. There's always something going on.
I've only got 2 more questions, so we're nearly there. Before I go talk yourself to death, you'll have a sore throat after this. But so for everyone at home, if they're struggling, if they want to get involved,
new apps,
just tell us how to get in contact with you, and all the sort of methods of contact you now, because there's a lot now.
Yeah. So again, people can reach out via our social media, etc.
Instagram. We will put all these in the thumbnail when the video goes up, but there's the Instagram, which is
there's Instagram. Tidy Butt. Yeah, everything is just Tidy Butt on our social medias.
Website.
Our website there's a new website that have just launched, and this is the way now that we're trying to get everybody to access the support via the website. Yep. So if somebody does reach out via our Instagram or wherever now, you will receive a message diverting you to the website.
Yes.
Because on the website we've got all our referral forms, whether you want to be involved with our community events,
charities,
whatever it may be, all the information is now on our new website. So if somebody did want to access counselling, there's referral forms on there.
Yep.
There's, if people wanted to do some fundraising events, all the forms, etc., how to get involved, all the volunteering, etc., everything's on our website now. So our website would probably be the best place to go to for anybody that did want to know more, get involved.
Where's your cafe and wellness centre?
So we're in Sebast in Pontypool. So just as you come up through the main street in Sebastopol in Pontypool, you'll see Yeston's Fish Bar on the right hand side, and we're just on the left is the former Tyre Bay is NP4 5BQ.
There we go. Address on the website?
All the addresses on the website, bro. So you'll see a little Grounded tab on the website, and all the information for Grounded and the address and stuff is on there. We've also got a separate Grounded Instagram account as well. So if anybody did want to know a bit more about that, it's Grounded Coffee Wellness. Yeah. It's Grounded Wellness TB, actually.
There we go.
Yeah, I got it.
Share a photo of the coffee and spread the message.
Yeah, spread the love, yeah.
And so we've done the contact. Final question for you, and this is the one I didn't prep you for because I wanted to think. So this is something that I seen actually off another Instagram video, and it was something that sort of stuck with me for a few days. So I wrote it down. I don't really need to read it off here, but if someone's struggling with their mental health right now, finds this episode, what would you say to them? So what advice would you give out to someone who's at the lowest part of their life? Oh, there we go.
You're not on your own. I think that's really important to tell people. I think when you feel as lower than shark shit for a lot of people, it's really easy to think you're the only one going through it. One thing I've learned by doing this is that somebody can relate somewhere. There is tons of different support networks out there, and I know for a lot of people you may not feel like it. And I think it's so overwhelming to, like, for instance, you can look online and see, like,
Needle in a haystack.
so many different options, and there's so many things telling you to do this and telling you to do that. And there is support out there. For anyone that is struggling, I can't emphasize the importance in, like, reaching out to someone, like, whether it be a friend, whether it be a partner, whether it be somebody that you work with, if you've got suicide first aiders or mental health first aiders in your workplace, or whether you've got an EAP system that is confidential that you can reach out to or whatever, just to start the ball rolling. Yeah. One thing that worked for me, Mace, when I was at my lowest was journaling. Now, it's not for everyone, but my emotional IQ was 0. I didn't really know what I was going through. I was just like low. I felt terrible. So I started journaling every day. I just started getting things out of my head and in front of my eyes. What this allowed me to do over a period of time without me even realizing was gather data. So I could look back over, like, the next 3 months, 6 months, whatever it may be, and start to connect the dots. So this is how I react when I've had a couple of beers. This is how I react when somebody tells me no. This is why I feel like I do. I haven't really got any purpose. I've stopped doing the things I enjoy. And over a period of time, not only does it allow you to be able to offload, but it allows you to make changes. So, like, this journal becomes like a way of tracking progress. So I start making small incremental changes within my life.
And improvements.
And improvements that you can track. So, like, instead of being able to offloading and being this bucket of, like, sadness, it became something that I could celebrate over time. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it's really important that when we do feel low, that we still try and find some wins.
And challenge ourselves.
Yeah, if we still try and find some, like, and some days that may mean literally having a wash, getting out of bed, and going to work. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? In his simplest form. But ultimately, 3 wins a day is 21 wins a week. It's 84 wins a month, or 1,007 wins a year. So regardless of what you're going on, you've still got the ability to look back and still find some wins. Yeah. But yeah, if it is anybody struggling, like, please feel free to reach out to us, as we mentioned, via our website, via our social media accounts. Reach out to Mason direct, and he can point you my way.
Which I always do now.
Yeah, which you can, like, gladly support with anything that we can. However, there is a number of different other support networks out there, and if we are not for you, we can signpost you or send you to some other organisations as well.
Amazing. Well, thanks for having you on. I won't keep it any longer because I think we've overshot the hour target, but it's been great talking to you. So thanks for having me on, brother. And that's episode 1. It's been amazing. So we'll see you soon. Thank you.